This is a hard video to make. If Plato didn't say it, and Socrates didn't say it, and no one else said it, then I'm gonna say it. I know nothing. I am back from the dead. Actually, still a little bit dead right now. Maybe living as a zombie. If you watched All of Us Are Dead. Really like that show. I don't really have words right now. Actually, I've been practicing the words in my head so many times. I mean, at first it didn't really seem real, and then it kept happening and all the comments started coming in. I'm the kind of person who gets anxious even before I should be anxious. And so I actually haven't been sleeping very well at night because I will wake up at like 5 a.m. and I'll check my phone. I'll see all the YouTube notifications, and then the thoughts will start wandering in my head about what I should say, how I should put this into words. And so there's been a lot of variations of this monologue in my head, but this is the one you're gonna get because I didn't write a script. And yeah, so first I want to say thank you, but also I'm sorry. And I'll explain that. I think overall, the feeling I've had over the past week of seeing my channel grow like this is this overwhelming sense of responsibility that I never had before. And actually, it's something that's related to the job I've been doing for the past 4 months, teaching kids. And actually, that's a pretty good analogy because I realized in that job that having authority and power was something that I was not used to and actually really kind of almost afraid of. And I think the same thing goes with this channel. When I started seeing how many people were watching my videos, liking my videos, subscribing to me for, well, that one specific video, but also saying that they not only enjoyed my video, but actually like learned things from it, I think that gave me such a huge sense of like, oh my gosh, who am I that people should learn from me? And there's a few things I want to address. But first off, I want to try and be a little more concise in summing up my ideas. And I'll do this with one of my favorite quotes by Plato. Well, technically, Plato through Socrates, by saying, "The only thing that I know is that I know nothing." And yes, I did Google that, and I know that Plato probably never actually said it. But if Plato didn't say it, and Socrates didn't say it, and no one else said it, then I'm gonna say it because I genuinely believe that I know nothing. Not to say that like literally, as in I literally have no knowledge in my head, but just even the things that I think that I know, and even the things that I think I presented to you guys as facts or as research, really just didn't take as much of my time and effort as all the praise that I feel like I've been receiving. And maybe it is a little bit of imposter syndrome, but also I do genuinely want to admit and say that I am definitely not and should not be the final say on any of these subjects, and I am no professional, I am no expert. And really, I personally don't go to YouTube or social media for factual knowledge. Really, I think of my videos and these other videos as thought-provoking and informative entertainment. Informative in that sometimes, yes, there are videos with, actual facts and actual statistics, but I do think that in videos like the ones that I made, there is a huge factor of perspective and experience. And to be completely honest, my perspective is that I have had negative experiences with men about my body, with body image in general, with my identity, my cultural identity, and even just with my culture of being Korean. And all of that has an impact even on just the kind of things that I decide to research. And you know how there's that type of research where you like have an idea or a theory in your head and then you find the articles you need to sort of support yourself? I think that's what I did. That honestly, when I made those videos, I really didn't expect anyone to watch them. And now that I know people are watching them, I feel the weight of that responsibility on my shoulders. But I just do want to clarify a couple of things. And I know this might be disappointing to a lot of you who came to my channel, specifically for the 80s feminism video. But I was actually planning on changing the direction of this channel before the video even blew up. And that direction will not include as much criticism or the kind of videos I was making before. I was in a kind of exploratory stage with YouTube at the time, but now I actually have an idea of what kind of direction I want to take. And so this channel will not be primarily about feminist issues or even about the other issues I talked about. I think that was just the kind of content I was consuming at the time. You know, you're like inspired by the videos that you watch and you kind of want to like talk like them or think like them, but Now I really want to sort of go from my own perspective and narrow down. And actually, most of you subscribed to my channel after I changed the name, so you probably won't realize, but the name of my channel has been changed, and now it is officially Seon in Seoul. So Seon is my Korean name, and my English name is Judy. Call me either one, really, it doesn't really matter to me, but I chose that name because I wanted to specifically focus on my life here in Seoul as someone who feels both like a foreigner and someone who does in a way belong to this country more than others, and really exploring and rediscovering my culture. And I think part of that is because I know that previously when I made that video about colonization, I really can't say I know anything about colonization other than some of the things that I did read up on or hear from other people. And when I made that video, I also was still really struggling with my identity as a Korean, and that's actually something I'm exploring now, especially in my writing. So I'm a writer primarily, actually. I am working on a novel, an autobiographical novel based on my experiences, and a lot of it's going to be centered around expat life and the time that I spent in Abu Dhabi, and now the time I'm spending in Seoul, as well as the sort of college young adult experience. And that's the same theme that I want to focus on in my YouTube channel. But going back to my past, even in the past year, I actually had a lot of negative feelings about being Korean. And I think in a way that I wanted to make all these commentaries because I felt like, oh, there's just so many things wrong with this culture and this society. But for the last 4 months, I've been working with a Korean company, with a school, and working with other Koreans who have, been here most of their lives, and I've actually made some really valuable relationships and learned a lot, both about Korean work culture, things I liked and didn't like, but overall I want to say that I was pleasantly surprised, and I think that I was really blessed by God to be even given this difficult position for a few months and to be challenged, and not just challenged with the work of teaching, but challenged with my notion of what Korean workplace looks like, what Korean people are like, and yeah, and so it's really inspired me to want to reconnect really with not just the good sides of my culture, not just what's popular like pop culture and dramas and music and food and everything that people, already like. Because I myself was really feeling that double bind, like I mentioned in the video, of I feel like people in my English speaking community, they want me to be more Korean, like be proud of that, but at the same time, they really want me to talk about the issues that are in Korean culture. But now I really want to learn more about both the good and the bad. And I want to say that there's a lot that I learned from working with other Koreans. I've even grown more comfortable with the language. That's sort of the direction that I want to take this channel and really focus on my life here, my relationships here, traveling experiences, even going back to my fashion videos. And so all that to say, if you want out, the time is now. It's now or never. If that's not the kind of content you're going for, now's the time to unsubscribe. And I want to say that earlier before I harpoon you guys all in with this video and be like, JK, I'm actually going to be talking about Korean stuff now. So, anyways. And now I'll actually say a short blurb in Korean. 일단 이 채널로 제가 새로운 영상을 만들 내용은 제가 한국에서 정말 있는 경험 중에 정말 좋은 경험들도 많이 있었고 좋은 사람들도 만났고, 그리고 이 영상들을 통해서 정말 내가 한국인으로서 또 한국어를 할 수 있는 사람으로서 이게 무슨 뜻인지, 그리고 한국 문화와 언어와 이런 쪽에서 정말 깊은 정말 많은 뉘앙스 같은 게 정말 많은 것 같고, 정말 복잡한 부분도 있고 근데 정말 아름답고 신비로운 부분도 많이 있는 것 같아서 이런 걸 정말 하이라이트하고, 그리고 제가 정말 한국에서 사는 게 생각보다 예상보다 정말 좋은 경험이라는 것을 보여드리고 싶고, 그리고 물론 제가 항상 서울에 있거나 한국에 있을 건 아니지만 그래도 여기 있는 동안에는 제 생활과 그런 삶을 보여드리고 싶었습니다. Alright, that's as much Korean as I'm gonna say for now. Korean, I need to script it because I can't just ad-lib But anyways, I've blabbed enough. This is a very long video, and I'll actually add a chapter mark for any of you who just want to skip to the main point and say, this is the main point of the video. My battery's about to run out, and I actually need to run out soon too. I have a consultation with an acting class in Gangnam that I might be interested in taking. So stay tuned for more announcements, for more videos. Thank you again for all of you who have been so supportive. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.